Hey, what's up, Pittsburgh? It's Gene with Dent Repair Now. Today we're back with, on Facebook, part 3 of our live stream for motorcycle dent repair. And on YouTube, we're on part 2. Same repair, same tank. I just didn't go live on YouTube the first time. So we're live streaming to both places. At Dent Repair Now is where you find us. We've got this custom 1 of 100 Harley tanks that we've got in. If you go back into our Facebook feed, you can see the before where we go over all of the damage. And then last week's video on Wednesday or Thursday, we got into the roughing in stage. So what I've done since then is I've used our knockdowns. That is tools like this, on both cameras, these, and bring the high spots back down and get it to a manageable level. We do have multiple creases that ran through here. The bike was involved in an accident. So I'm gonna grab each camera independently and bring you over and show you where we're at with the damage. And then we're gonna get the heat gun going and start pushing. The progression has been, this on both cameras. So we started with a really big, soft, broad tip to rough it in. Then once that was up, we stepped over to, this is a smaller soft tip. It's got rubber and then a coat of leather and some heat resistant tape. And then today our tip is going to be, we call it a phenolic. It's a phenolic resin. Sort of looks like wood. It lets us be more precise with our pushes without leaving tool marks, and more importantly, without damaging the coating on the inside of the tank. So let me grab the cameras and bring them over here, show you what we got. We can do this without, there we go. So the damage obviously was all through in here. We've gotten a lot of the depth out. And now we're gonna go in and start detailing up all of these micro lows. You can really see the 2 creases that run across. All right, get this back on here. All right, YouTube, Facebook. So same thing here. You can see the creases going through there. That was all a lot deeper, but this is sort of our roughed in stage, like I was talking about. We're gonna go in and detail this up. Oop. Keyboard, there we go. There we go. It'll take a second to heat this up. We want to heat it up to about 160 or 170 degrees to protect the paint. And we're using that same, if you go back and watch our videos from last week, get that same big J hook. This is the tool that gets us in there the best, and it's an interchangeable tip tool, so we can change those different tips out. And the big leather pad is to protect the spine of the tank while we're in here pushing. If you have any questions, make sure you put them up in the comments on Facebook. I don't know that I can see comments live on YouTube. So the process is just one tiny push at a time and trying to keep everything in control. It's not a, there's a myths that everybody thinks the dents just pop out. And that is not the case, whether it's on a car or a motorcycle tank. And on these motorcycle tanks, the metal, the steel is a lot thicker than what's on your car. So basically starting from this edge and working across these creases this way. A little warm. So I've worked through here across this side, and the creases ran parallel to each other here and then made almost a 90-degree turn and came up this way. This portion is much deeper over here, and that's what I'm working on now, is trying to get the depth out of the deepest part of that sideways crease. And I keep adjusting the light to get the reflection parallel with the angle of the low spot or the dent that I'm trying to fix. All right, so the way I like to do these tanks, and you're watching the progression, is to rough it in and bring it down into finer and finer and finer detail. So remember, we started with a big broad tip and then sort of a medium soft tip, and now we're into a harder phenolic resin. The dent gets cleaner each time. I'm gonna bring the cameras over and show you where we're at, and while that's cooling down, that's what we'll do. And then once it is cool, I need to use my knockdowns and knock some of these high spots down and get it coming back into a little bit level. So I'm gonna grab the cameras and show you. Sorry about that. We lost actually bumped the screen lock button. So here is after that round of pushing. You can see over in here is a little bit high. If you go back and watch the beginning of the video, you can see how much of the creases and the low spots we've gotten out. Again, each round of pushing and knocking down gets it cleaner and cleaner. Let's try to do this without turning the feed off. All right, Facebook. Let's get you over here. And same thing with all those creases. In fact, you can still see the scratches where those creases were, but we're cleaning up and bringing up all that detail. And then that was pretty deep. I over pushed it intentionally a little bit to get the low spot out. And same thing over here was super deep. I've over pushed a little bit intentionally. So it's cooled off. We're going to go in and start doing some of this knockdown work. So, and I'll use, actually here's my collection of knockdowns that I use all day, every day. I've got a hard steel one. Probably won't use that much on here. This nice plastic, it's super hard. It doesn't mar the paint at all. And then I'll probably end up using, this is a specially designed tip by Edgy Tools called the Knocker. It's big, flat. That's actually a mirror finish on hard steel face. So let's get in here and do some knocking down. YouTube, we might have lost a little bit of footage there. If we did, it was just knocking down. But anyways, let me bring you over and show you what that knockdown round did. All right, so You can see it's really smoothing out, super nice. And a lot of these bigger low spots you see are just the deeper parts of the damage. All right, Facebook, let's come on over and show you. So this is after our round of knocking down, really getting into our detail work. You can see the low spots you're seeing right in the middle of the frame there. It's just part of the deeper creases, but everything's coming up really, really nice. Let's get back to pushing. So in our progression, this was the tip that we used that round. I need to go a little bit sharper. I'm going to stick with the same material, but in a sharper shape. So this is that same phenolic resin we were talking about earlier. There we go. But instead of that soft round, we're going to do a little bit more pointed to let me do a little bit more finer detail work. Same thing, I'm going to work right to left across the damage. I'm just going in to pick up the lower spots. I don't know why YouTube keeps dropping out on me. It's kind of weird. Anyways, we're definitely live on Facebook the whole time. So that's another round of detailed pushing. Then we're going to do some knocking down. Basically, I just keep repeating this process back and forth until we're done. So be sure to check back a little bit later today. I'll go live when we're finished with this top part and show you the after result. But amongst these handful of live videos, you can see how the whole process is done. So we'll be back to see you in a little while. Thanks for watching.